Hello, Danny.
Hello.
I am so sorry. I got so caught up with talking with people that I didn't even realize what time it was, because turns out there are people that do sleep on my degenerate schedule. So I am
Oh,
so sorry about that, Danny.
no, you're all good.
So I just wanted to get the call started, just so that way we can, like, number one, go over that. Number two, just ease back into things, cause also, wow, this fucking week has been a massacre.
It has
Which,
been.
yeah. So I am also swapping shirts, because now I am just realizing that this shirt is definitely not appropriate for streams. So nope, can't wear that. That's Disney. Damn it. One sec, Danny. One sec.
Y'all good.
Oh my god. So yeah, I'm sorry. This is probably the most informal we've ever been in a while. Like, I realized the shirt that I had on showed way too much skin, and was like, yes, this is probably a terrible fucking idea to wear while recording. Um, shows you how fucking scatterbrained I am today. So, all right. So, let's start off with how was the last 2 weeks for you been? Cause we took a week break. We took a week off because I was on vacation.
Yeah, it's been pretty good so far.
I am
Got a lot of stuff done.
hell yeah. We will need to reschedule our tank time on Wednesday, but I should be good. I believe we scheduled it for
I think
Sunday.
the next one was Yeah, I think the
Yeah,
next one was Sunday.
on Sunday, yeah. And then, well, and here's the fucked up part is the week after that. So the week of that Sunday, I'm going back down to Mama Fox's, because turns out I fucking like the beach. Um, so I'm gonna go. Me and my partner are gonna go spend some time down there, and hang out with my parents more. So,
Yeah.
but I guess let's just kind of get directly into it. Let's start off with a couple of things. Number one, technically, this is gaming. This is gonna be really odd and spin take, but the Olympics are happening.
They
So, and America is right behind China with 18 medals to China's 19 medals. I actually got to spend last week watching the Olympics with my mother, because my mother is a big fan of the Olympics, specifically gymnastics. And yet again, the women's gymnastics decided, you know what? We just have to flex that we're so much better than literally everybody else. Simone Biles is absolutely goated. And Katie Ledecky is a just inhuman fucking monster when it comes to swimming. Holy shit. That woman can absolutely swim. So yeah, it's been interesting, to say the least.
Sure has been.
Yeah. There has been a lot of controversies that I'm like, why is this even a topic? Like, why are we talking about this? This is dumb as fuck.
They really have.
Yeah, there's been some, like, I'm gonna be honest, there's been some really bad takes this Olympics. Like, some pretty fucking awful takes.
Oh yeah. So many. So many.
So many fucking awful takes, and I'm like, Jesus Christ. Also, the biggest highlight is the shooting competition. The second placed winner, for the co-ed, the Turkish hitman. Because so I don't know if you saw it, Danny, but they did an interview with him.
Yeah, the cat father.
Yeah, and it's It's so fucking funny. Because he's like, he doesn't understand memes. And he's just scrolling through, and he's like, people are just drawing art and just making comics and shit about him. He goes, this is awesome. Like, I love this shit. And it's like, and again, he's just, he thanks, like, the community and, like, the Olympics and stuff. And, like, the man came into the shooting competition, no specialized gear, no lenses, no fucking equipment. This man went out to go get groceries and ended up entering the Olympics and took fucking silver. Like, what the fuck?
He literally just, like, got up off of his couch, put on, like, a comfy t-shirt, and just went out there and got a silver medal.
Yeah, and I love that people are like, bro, look at his hand in his pocket. It's for stability.
It's just like, he's just, like, if you want, like, a picture that is just, like, the essence of I don't give a fuck, that is it.
Well, I was going to say, did you see how old he is?
He's like 41, isn't he?
No, he's 51.
Jesus.
Yeah, and guess what? You know what generation that is? That's Gen X. You can quite literally say he is the personification of fuck around and find out.
He just went out there and did it. He didn't care.
I know. Well, and the memes are so fucking good. The memes are so fucking good. Like, the comments underneath Twitter of, like, 51-year-old Turkish man takes, comes in with no specialized gear and gets silver in the shooting competition. And people are like, this man got fucking beans! Like, Jesus. Well, and there's him, and then there's the girl from Japan that just emanated fucking JJK fucking main character energy. Did you see that one?
There's, like, I know everybody was, like, losing their minds over the South Korean team.
South Korean, I think that's what... wait, was that the long rifles?
The long rifles, I think, the one with the Hello Kitty rifle, I think she's from China.
Okay, I'm trying to remember the girl who was shooting in the pistol competition. She was, because...
the one with the monocle?
Yes. Yes,
yeah,
you know
South
exactly
Korea.
what I'm talking about. That is downright main character energy. Like, after she shot, just looked at her, and she's just, like, slowly going over the things to, like, pull up pull the target back. And, like, and I'm just like, God damn, Gojo, is that you? Jesus. Like, it was just...
Like, he, I believe, is the youngest member on the team, too.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, he was the one that was leaning, like, 90 degrees back, trying to fucking shoot. And I'm like, Jesus. Like, good God, my G. So, yeah, there's that. But, yeah, no, the Olympics have been fun, and... people are going to be like, oh, no, that's not gaming news. All right, sports is gaming. Shut the fuck up. Sports is gaming.
Just be prepared, like, next year's Olympics is going to contain esports, thanks to the Olympic Committee.
I know.
So,
it's
relevant.
Yeah, by the way, in a unanimous decision, no one voted no. The only people who voted yes.
It's like they understand how big it is.
Yeah, and the fact that it's becoming huge. I mean, take a look, right? Like, the three games that I'm pointing to right now, of like because there's a lot of games that you could pull up for, like, esports, because, there's been so many competitive sports in the past. The problem is that you have to take the most popular and then slowly integrate them, right? So the three that I would integrate well, technically, I guess you could say four. Right, would be Dota's number one, because Dota still has a huge player base.
Exactly.
League of Legends, Valorant, and CS2 would be the four that I would initially put up. Now, yes, technically, like, they're in their own separate categories. We have two MOBAs, and then we have two... What is CSGO and Valorant technically called?
They're both technically shooters, like, tactical.
Yeah, but they're, like, specific shooters. It's the round-based. It's search and destroy.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to remember. There's an actual fucking name for it, and I cannot for the life of me think of that type of fucking shooter. And it's fucking pissing me off now. But yeah, the only ones after that I would really like hardcore consider would be Super Smash Brothers, because it's just a game that's loved across every fucking continent. Super Smash Brothers, and then the old die-hard classic StarCraft. But here's the issue. StarCraft is too outdated.
Yeah.
Because they haven't released a new StarCraft in... oh god, how long? A while. So
It's been a long time.
I'm very interested to see what esports they will choose. I have a feeling that if they're gonna only do one per company, I would say that it would probably be League of Legends from Riot Games, and then CS2 from... actually, who produces CS2?
Valve.
Valve, yeah. If we were going to pick 2 games for esports, that is what I would probably give them. Because again, they're voting, like, they voted on it to see how it goes, and they have to, and of course they have to see what's going to bring in views for the Olympics, which again makes sense. And I think over the next like 20 years they will add more games. I would like to see Smash Brothers. Like, I would absolutely adore to see Smash Brothers, because I think Smash Brothers is fucking iconic, especially in the gaming community, but it is what it is. But yeah. So do we have any other news other than the big one?
Oh, there's a few.
Okay, then I'm gonna let you handle it.
Starting with another sad moment in the gaming world. After several years, Game Informer is closing down.
I did see that. That is actually a major loss too.
It was one of the last like actual fairly decent gaming journalist websites, I guess, now.
And I'm very surprised that they're shutting down. Like,
it's just how far GameStop's fallen off.
Oh, I guess that's true. Because, yeah, no, that's definitely an issue, because they were sold almost primarily in GameStop, right? And then online.
Because, like, early to mid 2000s, GameStop bought them out.
Yeah.
Had it sort of, like, integrated with their stores. And then they just kind of, like, were slowly going downhill, coupled with the fact that they switched to, like, online only.
Yeah, honestly, I think that was a really bad move for them. Because, if I'm going to be honest, I think half of the joy of the Game Informer was the fact that you could collect them. Like, it literally, in the front of my apartment, on my fucking, like, front, like, I have a little, like, stand with, random books and stuff on it. I have all of my old Game Informers back from when I used to, actually have it subscribed to them. Right? Like, it's crazy to me that Game Informer is gone, because for what, how long were they here for again? Like, how long did they exist?
Let me do a little, like, double check here. The first issue was in 91.
Yeah, like, think about that for a moment. That's fucking insane. Over 30 years. 30 years of bringing gaming news. And, like, and I get the point of, like, them going digital, but also, there is something nostalgic in picking up the local Game Informer when you re-upped your, your GameStop subscription, or you went in to go buy a game. Like, I have... Hold on. You know what? Fuck it. It's better for me to show. Hold up.
Yeah, no, it's fair.
Like, this is just what I initially grabbed from the pile. I have 5 Game Informers here. You know, from Cyberpunk to Outriders, to Magic Legends, to the Blizzard issue featuring Diablo 4, Ghost Recon Breakpoint. Like,
Yeah.
the physical copies are so much fun to collect and hold on to. Like, there's always it's the same reason. It's the same exact reason why people still would rather pre-order a game and get a hard disk, because there's something so nostalgic about just waiting in line at your local game store and going to get your game and then going and picking up a nice, good, hard copy that you can now throw on your shelf and you can look at it. There's something nostalgic about that.
And they always, like, every single issue, they always went hard on the art.
Oh, 1,000%. The art is half the fun on it.
And it's like, it's odd that it's not going to be around anymore.
I know. I mean, it was an integral part of my childhood, Danny. Like, I mean, probably for you too.
Yeah, like, literally, as they're saying here, like, 33 years of Game Informer. There's so many people that remember Game Informers and, like, having them around. Just finding out about these games here and there. Ooh, Game Informer.
Oh, yeah. Like, it used to be... Game Informer was the only way that I learned about new games for the longest fucking time. Maybe that's because I'm a head ass, but I digress.
Also, just because, like, Game Informer being game journalism, they got to actually, like, try out games early, whereas, like, now it's like, you see a lot of them on YouTube.
Yeah, like, that one's pretty... It really is sad to see Game Informer be gone.
That's, like, it's one of, like, 3 things that had, bad news this week.
Yeah, that one. I saw that one. That was... Yeah, this week has been... Other than, like, the Olympics, has been pretty poor. Like... I mean, there's the League Pro scene right now, which is okay, but it's still kind of a hot mess. But, yeah, no.
There was one good news.
Alright, give me the good news, Danny, because we have a whole fucking slew of bad issues that we have to go through, and I need some form of feels good.
The devs at Blizzard have unionized.
That is good news.
So, yeah, no, Blizzard now has a union.
Yeah, how long did that fucking take?
It's like, seeing what's been going on with the AAA industry as a whole, everyone needs to do that now, because things we'll talk about in a little bit can't keep happening.
Yeah, it's been, it's been a shit show.
And I did some digging on it too, so I found out more things.
Alright, so Blizzard unionized. What's next?
Humble Games shut down.
Humble Games?
Yeah, the, you know Humble Bundle.
Oh, yeah!
Yeah, their game studio shut down this
Hold
week.
on, what games did they produce?
Take a quick little look.
Hold on, because I'm also going to take it... Because I know... Humble Game...
Oh yeah, Midnight
Humble Games.
Light Express, Coral Island Unpacking, Moonscars.
I mean, no games that I, like, really know off the top of my head.
Yeah, no, it's like they're not big games.
No, but it's a lot. But it's a you know, we get to joke about small indie companies. But like, these are just stupid fun, like little tiny games that you can.
Oh
just
shit! I forgot
run
they
around
helped
in.
with. I forgot they helped with Hat in Time.
I have no idea what that is. So what's going to happen with Humble Games now?
The games will still be out there. It's just they're shutting down, so they're probably no longer going to be producing games themselves. Like the Humble Bundle stuff, I feel like it's probably still going to happen. It's just not going to be games they produced anymore.
It is a bit of a shame always seeing game studios close down.
Yeah. But that was the only other news, I think, aside from the main one, which goes pretty deep.
Yeah. Oh, I guess there is technically one more. Which is Kai Cenat. Need to talk about Kai Cenat real quick.
Yep.
Because he just completed Bloodborne.
It's a fantastic game.
It took him 30 hours.
Yeah.
And the message that he had after, I can't remember if it was before or after the stream, but he was making a big deal about the fact that it runs on 30 FPS. And he said, this game is a gem, it needs to be updated, and it needs to be remastered. Like, it needs to be brought to the newer consoles. It needs to either have a PC port, or it needs to be put back, or it needs to be put on the PS5.
It really needs a PC port.
Yeah, because Bloodborne is a phenomenal game, but it runs like shit.
It is one of the better games that FromSoft has made. And it's cursed because it is locked on the on previous gen hardware. It's just like, it would be so good if it ran at 60. It would be so good. But for some reason, the combination of Sony and FromSoft have not wanted to remaster it or release it on PC.
Yeah, which is wild because, with so many... Especially because, didn't they remaster Dark Souls 1 and 2?
They remastered Dark Souls.
Yeah, they remastered OG. Like, and I think the remasters will come with time. It's... Because think about it, right? Like, excluding Skyrim. Skyrim, I think, is the one exception to the rule of, like, alright, you need to actually stop remastering this game. This game is dog shit. Like, I don't care what anybody says.
Remastered too many times.
Yeah, well, and also, hot take, I think Skyrim's ass. I think Oblivion and Morrowind are better.
Skyrim is just carried by mods. That's just basically
quite literally.
What it is.
Yeah, quite literally, it is. It is absolutely carried by mods. Because it's really not that great of a game. Like, again, I think Oblivion, way better fucking storyline. So much cooler. And Morrowind was revolutionary for its time. And by the way, Oblivion had 2 banger DLCs with it. So... But, yeah, no. So, but here's the thing, is that I have a lot of respect for Kai Cenat. The big one being when he found out that I think it was his cameraman, was a PDF, he immediately got rid of him. He's like, that's gross, no. I don't deal with that.
100%.
Yeah, like, when he found that out, he was like, no, we're not doing that here. And I have respect for that. And the fact that Kai Cenat has been on an absolute fucking rampage playing through older games. Like, bringing, certain gaming communities to the forefront, right? A great example is Bloodborne, right? So many fucking people forgot the game fucking exists. Like, and he brought it to the forefront of like, hey, this game is great, but it runs like shit. We need a remastered version.
Yep.
Like, it doesn't have to be perfect, but give the community what they've been asking for years.
It's one of the most asked for things, and it would be some positive press for Sony if they would actually do it, but...
Yeah, because let me tell you, Sony's... Because, yeah, Sony is dog shit. Sony has been in hot water for a while now.
This entire year for Sony has basically been negative PR after negative PR.
Yeah, Sony needs to stop holding L's. They're going to start getting a little too heavy for them.
It's just like... It honestly feels like they're trying to just one-up themselves each time something comes out. We will get into that, though.
Yeah. Oh, 1,000%. So, alright. Well, now that I've covered the one thing, the Kai Cenat thing, let's move on to the big one. Because we don't have anything else to talk about, right? Other than the big one?
Yeah, I think the big one is the only thing left. Yeah,
so the big one is the massive layoff that Bungie had to do. Again.
Which, after some digging, it was already in the works before Final Shape even came out, thanks to a combination of the higher-ups at Bungie and Sony. So regardless of how well Final Shape did, it was still going to happen.
God.
Which is an outright shame, because the Final Shape is literally the best, like, Destiny content that they've come out with.
Yeah, and I mean, I've heard that Final Shape has been nothing but banger after banger after banger.
Oh,
I even heard the raid is fucking killer.
It is the hardest raid that they've made.
But it's also a really good raid.
It is a well put together raid. And the drops from it are well worth it.
Yeah.
There's really, like, nothing from that raid that is bad.
Yeah. And, I mean, this is so shitty. Like, you drop Final Shape, and then there was also the... Hold on, I have to scroll through my bookmarks, because Destiny Bulletin fucking posted something. Destiny Nostalgia posted things that Destiny Bulletin posted. He posted... Destiny 2's future content drops to be lighter and smaller content packs instead of expansion insider reveals from Destiny Bulletin, and Bungie has reportedly canceled the rumored Destiny 3 codenamed Payback project.
Yes, which, when people were speculating the Destiny 3, I already kind of was like, after the initial layoff was announced, I was like, there's no way there's going to be a Destiny 3. Like, they're gonna be lucky if Marathon comes out. But a lot of things got canned. I am interested to see how they plan to do those expansions, because from what I've been hearing, the expansions from on out are going to be free content updates. They're not going to be $50, $60 plus expansions. They're just going to be free content updates, which for a lot of people that was kind of a barrier for getting into Destiny, is how much the expansions are. And if they switch to a model where the expansion content is free, the only things that you pay for are cosmetics and the dungeon keys, I become more okay with the price of the dungeon keys.
Right. But on the other hand, you have another round of layoffs that hits players so much harder, and it's like you have to balance it of like, do you have the free content, or do you keep the quality? Because Final Shape is a quality fucking expansion.
It's really good, and the sandbox changes that they made with Final Shape are fantastic. The only pain point right now in the sandbox after all the changes is linear fusions and prismatic titan. Those are the only two things that feel real not great.
As in, like, they're ass or they're too strong?
The linears are bad. they're the only things that got globally nerfed when they removed the the minor, major, and boss spec mods.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Linears got nerfed globally by 7%. So they do 7% less damage than they were doing before.
Jesus.
Everything else basically got buffed.
Yeah. Well, and here's the crazy part, right, about the layoffs. P. Parsons, after the layoffs, bought new cars.
Yeah, which is why, much like the rest of the community, the best thing that people can say is he should leave Bungie.
Yeah, the community is not happy with him. Like, this is so shitty.
The money that was spent on the cars, which I'm really, really happy that some of the employees affected by the layoffs were kind enough to post a list of his entire garage.
Yeah, I thought that was the funniest fucking thing. Like, bro, really?
I was like, yeah, no, that's enough to pay for the salaries of most of the people that got let go. I think we have definitive proof of where the blame is for these layoffs.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And on top of that, Luke Smith and I am trying to remember his name, Mark Noseworthy. I'll have to double check his name, but those two left Bungie of their own volition. Initially, it was reported that they were also hit in the layoffs, but no, they resigned and are going elsewhere.
Probably because they don't want to deal with the bullshit anymore.
Yeah, because, the people that work on the game, the actual dev team, they are constantly trying to make the game better for the community. Because, they play the game, they enjoy the game as well. They want the game to be good. However, upper management likes to fuck with that.
Yeah, which I've never understood. And this is a pain point that I have with a lot of companies, is if your company and your game is doing good, that means the people under you are doing their jobs. Maybe, I don't know, don't fucking get rid of them.
Because, essentially what has, happened here has shown that, even when you excel and go above and beyond in the gaming industry, your job is not safe.
Yeah, no, 1,000%.
Which is why so many studios are unionizing, because, this is something that should not be happening in any kind of industry.
Yeah, and again, this just shows that upper management of Bungie is still fucking corrupt, and that Pete Parsons should absolutely be gotten rid of.
Yeah, the combination of Pete Parsons and the investors at Sony have kind of, been fucking over a lot of... they've been fucking over Destiny, and then the investors at Bungie, the investors at Sony have been fucking over other games.
Yeah.
It's part of the continued streak of negative press that Sony's been having this entire year.
And again, Sony's just eating more and more shit, and the problem is that the big problem that I have is that Sony fanboys are still going to continue to buy Sony products, and they will still get to they will still get to function as a company, because when the moment the PS6 drops, they will immediately go fucking buy it like the fucking sheep they are.
And it's I'm not excluding Microsoft from this either, because they did their rounds of shutdowns, but Sony's just been continuing to do it. I'm not giving Microsoft a pass. Xbox does not get a pass for shutting down Tango after the monumental success that Hi-Fi Rush was.
Yeah.
That was a horrible thing.
Yeah. Now, granted, though, at least, and this is the one thing that I will defend Microsoft on, is even though they haven't been able to make up for all of that, they have still tried to do some positive things.
Here's the difference, for instance, and I know it might be a little unfair of a difference, but at least you can play a lot of the things on Microsoft's ends in more countries. Even if it's because, Windows is kind of required if you have a PC anywhere.
Yeah, because nobody runs anything on Linux anymore.
Yeah, it's just because Linux is more like the enthusiast operating software.
Yeah, well, and also so many games literally cannot function on Linux anymore.
Yep.
Most games are not made for Linux.
It's also kind of why Microsoft does not care about throwing around massive amounts of money, because everybody needs Windows. Literally everybody uses Windows.
Yeah.
So it's they're set, they're fine. But I'm gonna be interested to see how things shape up and how many more studios actually unionize, because the Blizzard one was huge.
Yeah, the Blizzard one was huge. And there is actually technically one piece of Blizzard news that we didn't talk about last time because I just found out about it. At least, I think.
Oh?
Overwatch 2. Bringing back 6v6.
Oh, they're actually bringing... Okay, I did not know
this
about
was
that.
Dick Serto posted on July 25th on Twitter. Overwatch 2 is officially bringing back 6v6. It is currently the mode is currently in testing. The test will determine if the game should permanently go back to the old format.
Oh
Now,
my
granted,
God, I hope they do.
whether that it actually does or not is going to be based off the tests. But it will be very interesting because I know that literally the only people who have really wanted 6v6 back are the tank players.
Which, honestly, 6v6 would help the feel of the game, because with 5v5, it just does not feel... That 5v5 and the weird, removal of 2 capture point mode...
Yeah.
It feels weird without those. But I had not heard that. I was actually going to give it another shot with a friend who's been playing it recently, because there's no way I'm booting up Overwatch and playing it alone.
Oh,
absolutely no shot.
1,000%. I wholeheartedly stand with you on that. Overwatch by yourself is a nightmare.
I used to do that in ranked. I got to fucking diamond. I am not doing solo ever again. Never again.
Well, and I still watch Overwatch 2 content creators. The one that I watch the most is Flats 2, personally, because I think he's funny as shit and he has some of the best takes about Overwatch I've ever seen in my life.
There's so much with Overwatch that I just want to, ask why. The big thing being when the new team in charge of it decided to, announce the official, ages of the characters. And I'm sitting there looking at this list, and I'm like... So, that official, story, lore... cutscene bit with Blackwatch, where Mercy is literally talking to Ana while Pharah is a child. That's just completely not correct anymore.
Yeah, that was really bad. The loss of PvE, the shitty updates,
egregious skin prices.
Yeah. No, Overwatch has definitely seen better days. But hopefully 6v6 will help bring back the OG feel.
No, I think the main reason why they're even considering going back to a lot of the old stuff is because of that Marvel game coming out next year.
Oh yeah, you mean the one that people are like, this game is fucking dope.
Which, I've seen it, and, after hearing people saying, yeah, it's kind of, not balanced at all, but it's fun. And I'm like, that's all it needs to be is fun.
Yeah, it's stupid fun. Because it is so ridiculous, it's not balanced. There are so many things that will one-shot you. There are so many things that don't one-shot at all. And then it's just like, fuck it. You just throw yourself at the wall and just start, just smashing buttons. Because you're like, fuck it, we ball.
It's like they understood the assignment of like, hey, Overwatch kind of like started going downhill when they tried to make it an esport.
Oh yeah, and the esport doesn't exist anymore.
It's just like it might as well not.
It doesn't. It really doesn't. Like, the Overwatch League is dead. It's fucking dead.
It's just like the thing that really ruined them with that is like they started it, they tried it, and then they were like, oh yeah, but by the way, this is all of these programs are going to be PG-7, and you have to like really tone down your celebrating and trash talk.
Yeah, which, I'm sorry, that's a terrible take. Because the majority of your players are not 7-year-olds, and the majority of your community are not 7-year-olds.
It's just like they marketed it to like completely the wrong audience.
Yeah, no, 1,000%. I mean, and here's the thing, that's half the fun of esports, is seeing and hearing the trash talk. I mean, do you... Now, I don't know, because you really don't follow League of Legends esports, okay? But yeah. EU and NA have had a long-standing rivalry. And within their two respective communities, right? So EU has the LEC, NA has, the LCS, the NA LCS, right? And listening to the players in the post-game interview, they're fucking heinous, Danny. They are heinous. Like I recall a great interview with Doublelift where he said that, and this was back when I believe he was on Team Liquid, when him and Afromoo were in the bot lane. They were like the best bot lane at the time. And they said, hey, we're going to smash Team Solo mid. Bjergsen's not good. He's trash. He's washed up. Bjergsen then proceeds to solo kill him not once, not twice, but 3 fucking times that game. And then proceeds to go and win the game. Like, you can't make this storyline up. Like, Doublelift, the man known for shit talking, got absolutely trashed by Bjergsen. And Bjergsen afterwards went, meh. Like, he wasn't even phased. And Bjergsen is still considered the best mid laner that NA ever had. Like, he was fucking goated. So, it's just, oh my god. And EU is just as good. Like, if not better. Because the EU trash talk, Danny, oh my fucking god. It's so disgusting. Oh, the EU trash talk is downright heinous. Like, the supports, the people who do the least amount of shit in the entirety of the fucking game are trash talking each other. Like, that's half the fun of esports, is listening and watching the trash talk. That's half the fun. Just let players trash talk. For fuck's sakes, look at Counter-Strike! The game wouldn't exist if trash talking didn't exist. Like, the fuck you mean?
It's literally like a good chunk of the entertainment of esports is the BM.
Yes, that's literally the best thing to do. That is half the fun, is seeing the BM. Like, who the fuck cares that it's bad manners? It's funny. You're a pro. They're pros. Okay? They are professional players. Okay? If they can't handle that, they shouldn't fucking be professional players. It's the same thing with literally any fucking sport. Any of them. It's the same fucking thing. Football, basketball, baseball, they all have BM. And guess what? If you can't handle the fucking disrespect, don't fucking play. It's
Exactly.
really not that hard. You put yourself into a spotlight, and then expect to be taken out of that spotlight when your feelings get hurt. Guess what? Don't talk shit if you can't back it up.
Exactly.
It's really not that hard. God. I have wanted to have this conversation for so long because it's such a big fucking thing that annoys me to this fucking day.
Yep.
That, like, players get offended by trash talking. Who the fuck cares? You're playing a fucking video game. You're not getting a gun held up to you. You're playing a fucking video game. Talk your shit or get trashed.
It was like one of my favorite moments that I had seen that, like, I think sums it up pretty well of how entertaining it can be. It's when there was an interview, I believe it was with Mark Cuban.
Yes! I know exactly
For
what fucking
that
interview.
charity game.
I know exactly what fucking interview that was. I actually showed my mom that interview to show how fucking based Mark Cuban is.
It's such a good moment.
So would you like to tell the story, or do you want me to tell the story, Danny?
Go ahead.
Okay, so for those of you that don't know, so Mark Cuban and another celebrity were participating in an esports charity event. Before the game, Mark Cuban had dropped the F-bomb. And then they got into game, they played the game, Mark Cuban's team won. After the game ended, and they went up to the two captains, Mark Cuban and the other guy, came up to the interview, the hostess said, "Hey, congratulations. I do have to let you know, Mark Cuban, that you've been fined $15,000 for saying the F word." And Mark's like, oh God, how terrible. And she went, it's okay, because that money is actually going to CyberSmile. For those of you that don't know what CyberSmile is, it is a organization that prevents online bullying. That's the whole point for gamers that feel like they're being bullied. So it's another great thing for online games. It's good. Okay. So Mark, so she goes on to say, so do you regret saying it, or would you not take it back at all? And Mark Cuban goes, so if I say it again, I have to pay $30,000. I have to pay another $15,000. And she goes, you want to up it to $30,000? And he says, fuck it. Live. And the fucking crowd, by the way, goes absolutely fucking batshit nuts. Like, I aspire to have the levels of money that Mark Cuban has. Because he quite literally has fuck it levels of money. Like, oh, it's so good.
And, like, that's the level of entertainment you need for esports. You need that.
Yeah, I mean, another great one was the T-Pain versus Lil Yachty Rainbow Six Siege event. When Russian Badger was on T-Pain's team.
Which, by the way, I will have to, like, go through this again. T-Pain's team was stacked. That team was so stacked.
Prime Russian Badger. Brother.
So, I think it was Badger, Ammunition, fuck, who else is on that team? I know they were fucking stacked, because T-Pain is pretty good at Siege, too.
Yeah, because, and again, also, T-Pain is just a based individual. Like, T-Pain is just goated.
He is constantly doing something.
Yeah, like, his podcast is a banger. The fucking new album he dropped is a banger, Danny. Have you heard it?
I have not heard it yet. I know he's been, like, touring again.
Oh, Danny. Okay, so have you heard anything about the album On Top of the Covers?
I have not yet.
So, to put in perspective, the album is called On Top of the Covers, and it's literally a picture of him on a bed with a rose. The album is literally nothing but him doing covers. One of them being Tennessee Whiskey, and then the other one is War Pigs.
Oh yes, I have heard that cover.
T-Pain performed it live. Performed War Pigs by Black Sabbath live. And Ozzy Osbourne himself sent T-Pain a message saying, "You did a wonderful rendition. I am proud to know that the song still lives on." Ozzy Osbourne, the lead fucking singer, said that.
Yep,
and again, T-Pain didn't need fucking auto-tune. I get it. I have to point that out. The fucker didn't need auto-tune.
That is the best part about T-Pain's entire career.
T-Pain
can sing. He's got a great singing voice. It's just that, he uses auto-tune, even though he doesn't need to.
I know.
Because it's unique.
It's so funny, because he was the first one to bring, auto-tune into, hip-hop and R&B and stuff like that. Or he's one of the first, at least, to, heavily use it. And the crazy part is, he never fucking needed it.
Yeah.
He never fucking needed it. He's a genuinely good fucking singer. Oh my fucking god. And T-Pain's podcast, by the way, if you ever get the chance to watch it, Danny, that shit is fucking wild. They have zero fucks.
Which, also, another thing that T-Pain does, T-Pain streams a lot on Twitch.
He does. He streams a lot. Oh my god, that man. If he's not in the recording studio, he's playing fucking games.
Yeah. He has an entire, driving setup for when he plays Forza.
Well, in all fairness, if you had T-Pain levels of money, wouldn't you?
I mean, fair. He also has a drift car. Custom drift car.
Because T-Pain's just goated.
I don't think there's really, anything that he hasn't tried at least once.
Yeah. I will say, though, while we're on the topic of celebrities doing gaming, before we get back to, finishing up and whatnot, have you ever watched Snoop Dogg stream?
Oh my god, yes.
Him playing Madden is the funniest shit on planet Earth. And, also, the fact that he just became the Paris 2024 Olympics unofficial mascot.
When I heard that he was commentating on the Olympics this year, I was like, oh, that's good.
I was gonna say, did you not hear what happened during the 2021 Olympics? when him and Kevin Hart were commenting on the equestrian, he went, "Damn, cuz that horse crip walking." I gotta get me one of them. I gotta get him to put him in a video. And Kevin Hart goes, he said, "Put the horse in a fucking video." Brother.
I am genuinely happy that more people have realized just how genuinely funny Snoop is as a commentator.
Snoop is so fun. Oh, you should have hearing him during the 2024 Olympics, while they were commentating on football, and especially fun fact, Snoop loves hockey.
Yep.
And him commentating on the hockey games was even funnier. Oh my fucking god, it was so fucking good.
I still remember the story that he told about, the first time he, performed in England. Because he made the mistake of performing in Liverpool with a Manchester United shirt. And they let him know very quickly to take...
Yeah, that sounds about right. But no, I'm glad that we also get to end on a high note of talking about how ridiculous T-Pain and Snoop Dogg are. Because man, this week fucking sucked.
Oh yeah, well, this year's been kind of, it started off strong and then it crashed real hard for games.
Yeah, we fell off a cliff, and The gaming industry is not doing hot right. Well,
It's
let me
like-
let me take that back. Indie studios are fucking eating right now.
Oh, yeah, no, they're killing it.
Yeah, AAA studios, however, are about to eat the fattest bag of dicks they've ever had in quite literally forever.
Oh yeah, like,
And in all fairness, they deserve it.
and we are like getting two things happening right now that are going to be good in the long run, with more studios unionizing and also the Screen Actors Guild strike to ban AI voice work.
Yeah, that was another big thing because I remember that, and I was like, "Yeah, that'd be fucked." Because then,
Yeah.
what do you do about animated TV shows?
Yeah, it's like the main thing is, and you can tell when stuff has been using it because the quality just goes to shit.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
You can tell like when they use it because it's stuff, the way things are pieced together, it just sounds wrong.
Yeah, well, and here's the fucked up part is that as technology advances, AI will get better to the point of, can we tell the difference?
Yeah, which the funny thing is they're already reaching the point where the AI bubble itself is starting to pop because it's starting to learn from itself, and when AI starts learning from itself, it's the digital equivalent of Alabama.
Yeah, it's not good. Yeah, we we have movies about this. They're called the Terminator series. Like, we have movies about this shit for a reason.
It's just like the initial intent of what these AI tools were for was to be like assistants. It was to assist the workload, not do the workload.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're trying to get it to do the workload, and it cannot do the workload.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
also
it's-
why indie games are gonna explode.
Yeah, because indie companies are willing to actually spend the money to make sure that their games are fucking worth it.
And if they work, like, the voice actors and actresses they work with are usually like either very experienced or fairly new, and they're ready to get into voice work. So you're gonna get some fun performances.
Oh yeah, and again, like, the voice work in some games is a huge thing for players, right? Because it gives you emotion in your characters. I mean, again, a game that you and I constantly fucking point back to, a great example of this is Titanfall 2.
Mm-hmm.
Titanfall 2's voice work was absolutely phenomenal for a studio that had never made a story before. They said, the players want a story, let's give them a story. Yeah, you can complete the story in like 6 hours, but it's a good story.
It's like they made you feel emotion for a robot.
1,000%. And again,
Yes.
I think that it was they did an absolutely bang up job.
Like, I think I mentioned this in a video that I put out recently, but like Titanfall 2 was the only game that ever scratched that similar itch for me that Destiny does.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like the movement, the gunplay, everything just feels good. And nothing else really feels like that.
Oh no, 1,000%.
That's why I would love, absolutely love another Titanfall, but it's never gonna happen because EA is too fixated on Apex.
Bitches.
Like, Apex is the sole reason we don't have a Titanfall 3. And you can tell that, like, Respawn wants to make another, like, story experience because of how hard they worked on those, Star Wars games that they were given the permission to work on.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, they really wanted to make another Titanfall.
Yup.
It's gonna be interesting. I'm gonna keep eyes peeled and see what all comes out, because I was trying to think there is. I've been seeing stuff pop up about Shroud's game.
There's a lot of talk about stuff recently, and it's I haven't seen too much about Shroud stuff other than it's 3v3, but you get to control a clone, so it's technically 6v6.
Yeah, it's not a mechanic I was expecting.
It's only
Tactical shooter aspect.
It's going to be very difficult. So the big thing is with Shroud's game is that I think only, and this may be a hot take, I think only the best of the best are going to be able to play the game.
Oh god, yeah, no, because the minute that I heard that standing still is not going to increase your accuracy, like you have the same accuracy moving as you do standing still, is like, oh, they're really breaking away from like the foundation stuff that Counter-Strike and Valorant lives off of, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, it's definitely going to be a much higher skill floor game.
Yeah.
Like, if you're not good at it, you're gonna get bodied real fast.
Yep, 1000%.
It's gonna be interesting to see how it performs.
Yeah, and again, it's going to be one of those things of like, we're just going to have to sit and watch and wait.
Yep.
So.
But as I called earlier in the year, this is definitely the year for indies.
1000%. Well, Danny, we have reached the 1 hour mark, and I think that it is time for us, since we have hit most of our points, to go ahead and end the video here, yes?
Yeah, I think we're good.
So, with that being said, Danny, where can they find you?
You can find me on YouTube and Twitch at CatboxDanny.
You can also find me on Twitter at DominiteFox1 or on YouTube. Excuse me, the fuck was that? On YouTube and Twitch at DominiteFox. Thank you all so much for stopping by. We both really appreciate it. We both hope that you all have a wonderful rest of your day. And as always, don't be sweat lords. We'll see you guys next time.